Hi guys, welcome back to the Teaching Learning. This is Abdul and you are watching TLS Teaching Learning YouTube channel. So standard 5 again, math, and I'll be talking about these important the terms for that. You should be very careful in math. One thing is about the rote counting, another is the rational counting. So these terms has been used in previous tests, okay, and I'll be telling you about the upcoming content. These content will be for my upcoming lessons, and these content also has been used, okay, for them. So you should, as a teacher, demonstrate knowledge about that how to teach the numbers. So in this video I'm going to going to share some strategies and what is rote counting, what is rational counting, and how you can identify the questions in exams, if it is related with the rote counting, if it is related with the rational counting, what keywords you should focus on it, okay. Keep in mind, I'm not going to teach what is rote counting, what is rational counting. I'm going to help you to understand when you face these type of the questions, okay, how you're gonna recognize, okay. So today our lesson is consisting about the teach counting skills to your children's, right? So let's move. Now the first thing, the rote counting, okay, this is one of the teaching strategy when you are teaching the numbers to children, okay. So how you can teach the rote counting. The rote counting is actually when you are asking your children, young children, to count the numbers with repetition in a sequence, right? Rote counting, children are counting without objects. I'm not talking about using objects. So it's like 1 2 3 4 5. That this counting is the rote counting from the sequence, okay. Now this is actually another thing is this is actually repetition. Now in the rote counting we have the first keyword, which is the making the sequence of the numbers. This is the without objects counting. This is about the repetition, okay. They are keep repeating the numbers 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. They are keep repeating 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, okay. This is the repetition. And the fourth thing is about the memorization. So for the rote countation, you can write the 4 to 5 these keywords without counting objects. This is the memorization, this is the sequence, this is from descending to ascending order, this is the memorization. So these are the keywords when you see these type of the numbering methods, okay, you can recognize the question for rote counting. Let's move to the next. Next is about the rational counting. So we can the differentiate between the rote counting as well as the rational counting. Now the rational counting, that means when you are relating the numbers with objects. So when you are asking the children, okay, when they see an object and they see number of the objects on it, okay. So this is that quite different, okay. In the rote counting they are making the sequence of numbers without using the objects, and in the rational number they are using the objects to count, okay. Let's see how. First you have to understand, as you can see here, 1 2 3, okay. So they can also they recognize the how many objects are there. They can see also the how many the objects in these pictures, okay. Even you can see by putting the numbers, okay, number of the objects in front of the number. That is called the rational counting. Just have a look on it. What exactly it shows? It shows the relationship. You can see here that shows the relationship between the numbers and objects. As you can see here, numbers and objects, that's the relationship. So how many the objects are there, that child has to the count the same number as it is. So this is actually we call the rational number, that shows the relationship between numbers and objects. Now this is the example which I have already given, okay. So you have to be very careful when you face these type of the question. You can easily identify. Okay. Now some of the strategies that will help you, and you should know that how you can develop the conceptual understanding of the math. So there are the few strategies. The first strategy, as you can see here, the first strategy is the verbal counting. What is that? This is the verbal counting. Now that's a verbal counting you can apply in your classroom. So you should know that what does it mean, the verbal counting. The verbal counting you can practice through three ways. One is the practice counting by words and written and the numerical pictures. Okay, when they see the pictures or numbers, okay, they have to say it. The second thing you can see, the second thing, they can go for the count aloud. When they see the numbers, they can count aloud in the classroom, like a 1, 2, 3, 4. The children can count aloud. Another thing, they can use a number chart. So the children see, this is kind of the visualization. So when you are the showing the numbers, okay, or the symbols, okay, the children can identify and say 1, 2, 3, 4. Now practice counting, count aloud, use a number chart. This is one of the conceptual method. What does it mean, conceptual method? Now rote counting and rational counting are actually the memorization. However, let's differentiate. Okay, so they can ask you that how we can teach the conceptual method, conceptual understanding. As a teacher, how you can teach the conceptual. So when you are teaching the rote math, when you are teaching the rational math, keep in mind that is not the conceptual math, that's a memorization. So when you are developing a habit to memorize these numbers by practice, by looking at, okay, so that children can recognize these numbers. However, the conceptual, the one of the strategies, that is verbal counting. So when they are practicing, when they are looking at the pictures and the numbers, when they speak aloud, when they are looking at the symbols and they see the aloud, so when they see the object, when they see the picture, they can easily identify, okay, and they recall the information. Okay. So this is about the conceptual understanding, not a memorization. Okay. Let's talk about the further methods, more methods about. The second is the cardinality. Now what is the cardinality? That the student should know the finite and infinite numbers, okay. They have to recognize the sets. If you look at this, the definite number, the elements in the each set. Suppose you want to teach them, okay, about the numbers, and later on you want to teach about the objects as well as it. If you look at this over here, you can teach children about the numbers of till 6. Okay. Now a set is consisting about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is equal to 6. So this is what exactly you are teaching, the infinite numbers, okay, that what numbers are infinite, what sets are infinite, okay, by you can relate them with the objectives as well as So the second, the conceptual understanding of the math is about the cardinality. Now let's talk about the further one-to-one corresponding. This is another method, okay. You can teach the numbers. Now what is the one-to-one the corresponding? Let's see. If you look at this line, that is this one, when a child touches each toy and says the number aloud, 1, 2, 3. For example, any object, this one, that when you show a child, the child say 1. When you display like this one, the child says 2. So this is we call the one-to-one corresponding. So whatever the number of the object a child is gonna see, the child should recognize. Now this is the conceptual understanding. This is not the memorization. So you can pick the randomly objects, random, the objects or number of the objects, and the child will recognize, okay, this is the number actually. So this is, we call the one-to-one corresponding. So for the conceptual understanding, so far, verbal counting, second the cardinality, second, third thing is the one-to-one corresponding. Let's see the what else. Subitizing. This is one of the another method you can teach the subitizing. Subitizing has been already used in the previous the exams. Okay. Now subitizing is okay, the ability to quickly identify the number of the items in a group without counting. So there should be no counting. Okay. However, in the one-to-one, they can use the counting. Okay. For example, 2. So you can make it like that. So you can, this is one of the best example. You can ask the children, or you can use this method when children, you are going to teach the subitizing. You can use the dice, you can use the other methods. Okay, you can ask, okay, the children when you can play with them, and if there's a number is like that, okay, this phase, you ask the children, what number is this? Then what number is this? Then what number is this? Now look at that, when you are playing a dice game, okay, the children are identifying the numbers without counting. Okay, this is a conceptual understanding. They may, but they are recognizing what number this is. This is the fourth method that you can teach the numbers, by conceptual understanding. So let's see what else we have. If we look at this now, other things, the compose and decompose numbers. How we can teach the compose and decompose number? Okay, we can teach compose and decompose number by these utilizing these strategies. 10 frames, this is very important. 100 charts, again part-partwhole. So they may ask you, okay, if you want to teach compose and decompose number, what methodologies you can apply it. Okay, if it is given the 10 frame from there, if it is given the subtizing, if it is given one-to-one sites, if it is giving the cardinality, so you can easily understanding that 10 frames we use the for composing, decomposing. 100 charts we use for the comparing, compose. Part-partwhole we are using composing and decomposing number. So you can teach the units, you can teach the tens, you can teach the hundreds, as well as by using the part-partwhole and 10 frames and 100 charts. Okay, this is another strategy, so you should know about. This is the example, a type of the question. Okay, they can ask you that which methods has been used in this what we call in method. So now suppose if you look at the question asking about what, Samantha has a 4 red marbles and 3 blue stickers. Now actually this looks that it's addition. Okay, of course addition, but what exactly the method we are going to apply? If you look at this, the method is we are applying over here the part and whole. So when two parts are combining, that makes the whole, this part. Okay, so you will be evaluated based on the knowledge and the practices. You are not, and they will not be asking you to solve the problem. Okay, so keep this, I always repeat this point. Okay, so to use the part-whole model, think first about the unknown. Okay, let's talk about the more let's see, if you look at this question. Now in previous lesson I have discussed about the starting, change, and what we call the end result and the difference. Okay, now over here another strategy is, okay, if the values are different and they want to look at, now this question is also looking for the addition or something like that. Okay, but you are not going to be evaluated based on the addition. So we are going to teach the children part-whole model. So over here the 15 is given, then what numbers we're gonna put over here, that we're gonna get the result of the 27. So you are not going to add these numbers. Okay, but you will be asked, okay, that which method is used for this. This is the conceptual development of the math. The second thing, this is the part-whole numbers of this one. So these are the few things I wanted to share with you. So you can look at this, these the strategies, and these strategies will be very important for you, okay, for upcoming the E-Series pedagogy exam. So we'll be meeting with the next lesson for a new strategies, as I have shared with you what we're going to talk about then in the upcoming lessons. Till that, stay blessed, take care, and goodbye.